Yshshakar, chapter 1. The copy of the words of Yshshakar. For he called his Banim and said to them, Listen, my Banim, to Yshshakar, your father. Give ear to the words of he who is beloved of Yahuwah. I was born the fifth Ban to Yaaqub, by the way of hire for the love apples. For Reuben, my brother, brought in love apples from the field, and Rahel met him and took them. And Reuben wept, and at his voice Leah my mother came forth. Now these were sweet-smelling apples, which were produced in the land of Haran, below the valley of the water. And Rahel said, I do not give them to you, but they shall be to me instead of my children. For Yahuwah has despised me, and I have not borne children to Yaaqub. And there were 2 apples, and Leah said to Rahel, Does it not satisfy you that you have taken my husband, that you take these also? And Rahel said to her, You shall have Yaaqub this night for the love apples of your Banim. And Leah said to her, Yaaqub is mine, for I am the wife of his youth. But Rahel said, Do not boast, and do not flaunt yourself, for he married me before you, and for my sake he served my father 14 years. And had not deceit increased on the Eretz, and the wickedness of males prospered, you would not now see the face of Yaaqub, for you are not his wife, but were taken to him in my place in deceit. And my father deceived me, and removed me on that night, and did not allow Yaaqub to see me. For if I had been there, this would not have befallen to him. Nevertheless, for the love apples, I am hiring Yaaqub to you for one night. And Yaaqub knew Leah, and she conceived and bore me. And I was called Issachar, because of the hire. Chapter 2. Then a messenger of Yahuwah appeared to Yaaqub, saying, Rahel shall bear 2 children, though she has refused company with her husband, and has chosen abstinence. And had not Leah my mother paid the 2 apples for the sake of his company, she would have borne 8 banim. For this reason she bore 6, and Rahel bore the 2. For because of the love apples Yahuwah visited her. For he knew that for the sake of the children he desired to lie with Yaaqub, and not for lust of pleasure. For also on the next day she again gave up Yaaqub. Therefore, because of the love apples, Yahuwah listened to Rahel. For though she desired them, she did not eat them, but she offered them in the house of Yahuwah, presenting them to the Kohan of the Most High, who was at that time. Chapter 3. Therefore, my Banim, when I grew up, I walked in uprightness of my heart. I became a farmer for my father and my brothers, and I brought in fruits from the field according to their season. And my father baraked me, for he saw that I walked in integrity before him, and I was not a meddler in my doings, nor envious and malicious against my neighbor. I never slandered anyone, nor did I condemn the height of any male, walking as I did in sincerity of eye. Therefore, when I was 35 years old, I took for myself a wife, for my labor wore away my strength, and I never thought upon pleasure with females, but owing to my toil, sleep overcame me, and my father always rejoiced in my integrity, because I offered all the first fruits to Yahuwah through the Kohan, then to my father also. And Yahuwah increased his bounties, and in my hands 10,000-fold. And Yaaqub my father also knew that Elohim aided my sincerity. For on all the poor and oppressed I bestowed the good of the Eretz and the sincerity of my heart. Chapter 4. And now listen to me, my Banim, and walk in sincerity of your heart, for I have seen it in all that is well good pleasing to Yahuwah. The sincere male does not covet gold, nor does he take advantage of his neighbor, nor he does not long for great delicacies. He does not delight in mixed garments. He does not desire to love or to live a long height, but only waits for the desire of Elohim. And the Rukh of deceit have no power against him, for he does not look on the loveliness of females, lest he should defile his heart with corruption. There is no envy in his thoughts, no malicious person makes his being to pine away, nor worry with insatiable desire in his heart. For he walks in sincerity of being, and observes all matters in uprightness of heart, rejecting evil eyes through the error of the world, lest he should see the perversions of any of the commands of Yaaqub. Chapter 5. Therefore, my banim, guard the law of Elohim, and obtain sincerity, and walk in trustworthiness, not meddling with the business of your neighbor, but love Yahuwah and your neighbor, and have compassion on the poor and the weak. Bow down your back to work the soil, and toil in labors in all manner of farming, offering gifts to Yahuwah with thanksgiving. For Yahuwah shall barak you with the first fruits of the eretz, even as he barak all the kodeshim, from Abal even until now. For no other portion is given to you than the fatness of the eretz, whose fruits are raised by toil. For our father Yaaqub barak me with barakut of the eretz and of the first fruits. And Louis and Yehuda were esteemed by Yahuwah even among the banim of Yaaqub. For Yahuwah gave them an inheritance, and to Louis he gave the kahuna, and Yehuda the reign. And therefore obey them, and walk in the sincerity of your father. For God it has been given to destroy the armies that are coming upon Yizraal. Chapter 6. Therefore, my banim, know that in the last times your banim shall forsake sincerity, and shall cling to insatiable desire, and leaving trustworthiness shall draw near to evil, and forsaking the commands of Yahuwah, they shall cling to Belial, and forsaking farming, they shall follow after their own wicked devices, and they shall be dispersed among the Gentiles, and shall serve their enemies. And therefore give these commands to your children, that if they crime, they may the more quickly return to Yahuwah, for he is compassionate and shall deliver them, even to bring them back into their land. Chapter 7. Look therefore, as you see, I am 126 years old, and am not conscious of committing any crime, except for my wife. I have not known any female. I have never committed whoring, but by the uplifting of my eyes. I did not drink wine to be led astray by it. I did not covet any desirable matter that was my neighbor's. Deceit has not risen in my heart. A lie has not passed through my lips. If any male was in distress, I joined my sighs with his, and I shared my bread with the poor. I worked righteousness all my days. I guarded the truth. I loved Yahuwah. Likewise, also every male with all my heart. You also do these matters, my banim, and every rook of Belial shall flee from you, and no act of wicked males shall rule over you, and you shall subdue every wild beast, since you have the Elohim of the Shemayim and the Eretz with you. Walk with males in sincerity of heart. And having said these words, he commanded his banim that they should carry him up to Habrum, and bury him there in the cave with his fathers. And he stretched out his legs and died out of good old age, with every limb sound, and with strength not diminished. He slept with the eternal sleep.